shot at trying to take the first win of this playoff game. As we see here, raining down a little bit of damage on the high ground. However, they have not fallen yet. You think that they're going to fall, but they're on the bat side right now. What are they doing?
Ooh, we see Andy Pants going in Starflight. It is not Star Bright, and he's going to get taken down by Andy Pants too far in the back line. He's going to get focused, but look at this. Looks like pincer maneuver, but it's not working out. Wasting gets wasted. The Ryan going to get taken down, and this payload might just cruise right into the first check.
Nearly did, yeah, in the back there. However, Starflight was able to actually get back in time and now, able to actually take out the Zarya. However, the field is up. Actually destroyed. Nice job on Starflight to acknowledge that. And Reinhardt in the back barrier is going to fall as they will actually clean the fight up on the side of the Wolverines at the very, very end. Nice job from.
Yeah, and I think overall, we just saw that the Moose were not well coordinated enough because honestly, they had the man advantage. They had like the potential to make a great play against the Wolverines there, but it really just fell apart as the Wolverines continued to hit the shot.
Yeah, it was actually very odd to see as far as for falling in the back from the side of the Wolverines. It seemed like it was all over with by the amount of pits that were happening and kills. But I mean, solid job for them to being able to come back. And now they do have the ultimate advantage.
And we're going to see the Dragons coming out, not finding too much damage here, but there is the offense matrix from Searchlight on the map. It's going to find quite a few assists, but Starboy coming in. A 2K tire. Andy Pants on the Tracer finds 2 as well. Make it 3. Dr. Bright going to punch down the Swiss medic. And Andy Pants was the story of that fight, finding 4 kills on this Tracer. He was all over the place.
He was looking really solid. Oh my God, I was confused as far as for the bomb coming out, but picking off the supports, it looks like there's some staggered spawns in the.
Yeah, but he got a little bit too aggressive there onto Purple, trying to take him out. Purple for the Wolverines is going to be alive here. Looks like he's going to be the last stand in trying to protect this. You see that golden rectangle of victory. The Swiss medic goes down once again, but a huge charge from Wasting cancels yourselves all entirely. Dr. Bright trying to fight back. There's so much damage. Andy Pants finds kills as well. Mr. Gopher finally pulling his weight. The offense matrix for good measure. And now it's just Starflight trying to brighten things up on the point. He's going to get taken down. And there we go. The first map going in favor of the Moose.
Very solid job for them to be able to close that out so fast on their push, so decisive for what their plans are. As you were mentioning, Dr. Antipan's just looking so good for his target selection and being able to make the plays happen. As of course, we do have the Riptire coming up big in this fight to be able to solidify that.
Yeah, that's both tanks right there. That takes down so much sustain and also a lot of crowd control. So it was really just difficult for the Wolverines to get any momentum in that fight after they had been taken.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely are signs of life for the Wolverines to be able to fight back for sure. It'll be kind of interesting to see how things kind of unfold in the upcoming maps for sure. And of course, we are going to be going to Nepal next, if I remember correctly.
Yes, the Mountainside Temples of Nepal, and this is a map that is historically very brawly. So we're going to see really the coordination does not matter as much on this map. As long as they are not staggering, it's really about who is able to finish off the. So we might see, it looked like the Moose had a slight advantage in coordination on the last map, but we'll see if the Wolverines will be able to overcome that with some nice mechanical skill here coming in. Both teams, of course, very positive in chat. Something we like to see, something we really care about here at EGF is the sportsmanship, of course. But a lot of fun heroes being played already. What are you expecting to see on this map?
So I was honestly thinking more about Baptiste still, that he can shine even harder here, especially with his splash heal as well as for splash damage and whatnot, especially the Matrix being on the point, especially in this closed off section where the point actually is. I'm not sure if I want to say that a May might come out. Of course, there's teams that like to run that strategy where you cut off half of the people once they come into the point and you just try to hold it there. But I guess we'll see what teams end up deciding on going for sure, especially something like a Moira even. I think that this is where supports just really get to shine more than anything else.
Yeah, and as we're looking at it, we are going to see an Ana come out. So very similar to the Batiste, the nade gets a lot of advantage from the splash damage. We'll be seeing, but other than that, we're not seeing a lot of similarities. We are going to see both Zomboy and Starflight on the Junkrat again. So both of that should be pretty fun to watch. I expect these teams to try and fight on the point, as they do seem to be more brawly. But we're going to see the Moose heading up to the high ground to start off.
Yeah, rollouts are different on separate sides. However, there is no Mei to kind of work this more in the favor of the Wolverines, so we'll see what they end up deciding on. But it looks like that the Moose are taking the high ground and just biding their time for right now. They are dropping to the point right now. Ooh, nice pickup on Starlight.
Yeah, actually, both teams fighting back here. Triparctic with a flank is able to take down Night Knight, but other than that, it's been all blue in the kill feed. The Moose just going after it, and they found almost everything in that fight, able to cap the first point very.
Yeah, and the ultimates are definitely going where they need to be on sides of the Reinhardt. Actually going to have the most in the entire game at this exact moment. And then actually everybody's almost even on the side of the Moose. This is going to be terrible for the next few fights for the side of the Wolverines to be able to run into a Reinhardt.
I'll tell you though what's really terrible, just all the mayhem on both sides. We're seeing double Junkrats being run right now. And you see the spam from Zomboy taking down Partic. It's just got to be terrifying for this Wolverines attack to run into the Junkrat spam.
Yeah, so unfortunately right here, once you are set up on the point, this is exactly what you need to avoid, is taking your time to be able to push on the point, staying in chokes. This is exactly what Junkrat wants. He wants to wear you down slowly. He wants you to come in with little to no health on those shields so that your Reinhardt's going to be near useless once you finally do decide to push in. So hopefully the Wolverines can engage very quickly and decisively and not be worn down by the time that they get in here.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm really disappointed they were able to get that kill onto Dr. Andypants, who switched over to the Hanzo. They probably shouldn't have been able to get that kill, and they didn't really push with it. They've just been waiting here. Now that they have this Coalescence, they're going to try and push in. It looks like that was what they wanted, but the Shatter comes down. Here's a Deadeye, not going to find anything in the tire. 5-3. Lots of mayhem. What did I tell you?
This is total mayhem right here. I didn't know that we were running the arcade game mode at this moment, but it seems like Dr. Andypants going to be taking out Starflight at the very end. 85% on the timer at the top there. Looks like things are going to be do or die for the Wolverines, but they don't have much to work with.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think they'll even be able to contest here. Mr. Gopher has a Graviton. I'm sure he's going to try and use it on them here. He's not able to catch everyone, but are they going to be able to touch the point? It doesn't like they're going to. It doesn't look like they're.
Yeah, just not being decisive for their attacks and staying on those chokes, as we have mentioned, is just terrible for how things are playing out once you have the high ground with a Junkrat. This map should be a little bit more to the Wolverines' liking, I would think, as far as for playstyle, since Junkrat doesn't have as many options to work with in the exact same way. Mind you, of course, it can still be bad, but I think this will show a little bit more of where they can excel.
I'll tell you what, though, I can really relate to the Wolverines. I mean, decisions are hard. Like, man, pushing at the choke, not easy to do.
I agree with you, man.
We're coming in here again. It seems like they still want to run this Winston Zarya. And I would say a really big disadvantage of running Zarya over the D.Va here is that you don't have a dive partner for this Winston. He's a lot less survivable when he tries to go in. And Mr. Gopher on the opposite side is playing a Roadhog, which makes it even more difficult for him to get in safely. And look at that Starflight going down early to Dr. Bright on the brig. Partic on this Genji is looking for some value. They are actually able to take down Night Knight. Oh, Perkle going off. He finds yourself as well. I wish I could find myself. But he's going down very low here. Noctis on the brig, able to find a kill onto Gopher there. Just trying to stay alive, trying to fight back. It's Dr. Bright on the point all by himself for the Moose. But I think this cap is actually going to go in favor of the Wolverines.
And there we go, gonna be able to flip it just in time. However, the Moose are there to try and contest immediately, so we'll see what they end up doing. Oh, it looked like that Searchlight was going to try and get a boop off, but ends up being taken out, so nice job from Zombie.
Yeah, and now we see Zomboy. He's swapped onto this Pharah pick, and this is certainly a reaction of Arctic having swapped off the Lee that he was running on the last section. And of course, he's going to be looking for so much damage from this guy, but Arctic with the blade, he's looking for more. He's already found one. Anipants on the other side, though, has dragons of his own. He's able to take one out, and he's taking him out with the Storm Bow. Anipants, shot after shot, 33% build up for the Moose, for the Wolverine, sorry, but the Moose able to take the point here.
Yeah, they had to invest only one ultimate, or rather two ultimates from the side of the Moose going into that, but it looks like that they might have a small chance with the Brigida ultimate. Let's see if they end up popping the rally as the Wolverines push in right here, not finding too much. However, they are firing off with the Riptire. Let's see what he's able to find right there. Oh, only destroys the Immortality field.
Yeah, and that's really just the power of playing the Batiste. You know, Junkrat's ultimate is so strong, it's usually able to get huge multi-kills, as we've seen earlier, but right there gets completely shut down by the Immortality field. It doesn't really matter, though, because Partic was... Oh, but Zomboy coming in on the Pharah finds two, including a boop kill onto the Lucio. He's gonna get taken down, but that might have been just the momentum they need, as Mr. Gopher coming in with the ultimate. Yourself dying to Starflight's death mates, but Mr. Gopher just barely gonna hold it up. No, Wasting able to flip it back just in time.
It was almost a one-man army right there, taking out so many characters. Oh my god, the Matrix gonna nuke Wasting. He is indeed wasted. Shout out to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, you see right there why we call it the Offense Matrix. The Offense Matrix putting out so much damage for Night Knight there. The Graviton, the Dragon Blade into the Graviton. Dr. Anipants fighting back. Starflight going to Tire as well, but nobody's seen Anipants. He's still on the floor.
Indeed, and the flip right there, it is still in Wolverine's favor, though. They are contesting the point. Oh, charge in the back. However, he is going into the Room of Death right there with Mr. Gopher and Dr. Antipants. However, Starflight thinks he can take them on himself. Gets hooked right there as we have staggers coming in now. This is probably not the best strategy, especially with the percentage ticking.
Yeah, honestly, that was... I'm not even sure how that happened. Dr. Anipants somehow able to avoid Kirkle's Graviton. Doesn't get caught by the Tire, and also Partic with the blade doesn't see him. He's able to stay alive and stay on the point and flip it back. And that was a huge shift in momentum because the Wolverines had won that fight.
Ooh, Pits at this point in the game, and we actually have Dragons to split up the Wolverines. What are they going to do? Are they going to push in right now? They're coming up to 90%. They don't have the numbers in their advantage. Lucio just came up from spawn. Can he make it back in time? However, the Brigida is going to fall on the side of the Wolverines, and we have Zomboy, oh, actually falling to himself, I feel. Except they were not able to get to the point, so that is going to be the Moose taking it 2-0 in the series so far.
Yeah, the Moose... Still, the Wolverines showing signs of life, but the Moose really just shutting them down most of the time. As we see another play of the game from Zomboy, he's just finding multi-kills with these tires like nobody's business. The placement there, the timing was so perfect, it almost wasn't even planned.
Planned or not, he's looking pretty solid out there. You got to give him so much props for always being in the good position or hiding if he's got the ultimate, understanding what his win condition is in certain situations. So you got to give him a lot of props for that. But the Wolverines, as I mentioned, had looked a lot stronger for this point if they don't have those chokes that the Junkrat can just sit in and just spam them with damage. So I think things might look forward. Rather, I think that we can look forward to some good things from them, depending if they can get something working for them on Hanamura coming up.
But I'll tell you what, I want to talk about the really important issues. Watchpoint Gibraltar looks like a pretty warm place. I mean, the sun's always out, you know, it's in the Mediterranean. And Nepal, clearly very cold. I mean, you can tell because there's snow everywhere. And it's Nepal, like it's on top of a mountain. So why is everybody wearing exactly the same outfit on both maps?
I mean, who knows, man? They might have some artificial type of warmers or heat pads underneath their clothes. I mean, this is the future. We have defense. We have Matrix that can block bullets and shoot things out, man. Diva's out here. We have Baptiste with his own Matrix. We have Neo coming in as the next character. Who knows? Maybe he'll be dodging bullets.
So do people have like inner cores, like Torbjorn's molten core? Is that how they say war?
You know, that's actually, I think you're actually onto something. He does drink that, right? So maybe
Yeah,
everybody just has their
but
own
that's just a show of like he's just trying to show his dominance when he does that. He's burning his insides, but he doesn't even care because he wants to show you how strong he is.
I mean, he is pretty strong as a character. But so, coming up to Hanamura here, what are you thinking we're seeing? It seems that the Wolverines have struggled a little bit for chokes. And I mean, that's kind of the first thing that we're coming up to, right? Is going to be the main choke at the main.
You know, I've just noticed that this statue out here, like outside second point, is of a koi, like the fish, like Japanese koi.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool statue. I've walked around this statue many times. I've died at this statue. But the statue itself, I've never looked at until now. It's pretty cool. But we're going to be getting started. Starflight and Zomboy both on the Junkrat again. Dr. Andypants, though, switching it up, going to be on the Doomfist. It's everybody's favorite punch. So we'll be seeing if he can do some Captain Falcon-style destruction of the Wolverines, who are going to be starting on the attack here.
Yeah, and actually showing himself not giving a care in the world right now. Zomboid giving a little bit of disrespect, seeing if they're going to just jump into his trap as he can nuke somebody. Going to be throwing out some bombs to start off, see how much he can get up for ult charge. Actually goes up to 33 instantly. Jeez.
I think it's really just like, you know, I think they know that he's going to play it. I don't think he minds letting them know because he's just going to dare them to stop him. And so far, they haven't been able to.
Yeah, and then we actually do have a flank over here from Starflight. However, Dr. Antipant's gonna pick up one, and Zomboy picking up the next one. And oh my god, Dr. Antipant is just going to town with these. Then
yeah,
still
Dr. Antipant's just going so deep. Perkle gonna get taken down, and Doomfist right there. A little bit of BM telling him to stay down. I don't know. I think that was a bit too much there.
Yeah, the mobility and the strong front line from the side of the Moose is going to be a bit hard whenever that you have a Doomfist just picking apart your backline in the back. And if you just notice what his position is going to be and the targets that he's going to be picking off. Also, I actually like Zomboy up here putting the trap on the high ground to prevent them from being able to jump up there. And we actually have the Immortality Field being popped a bit early. We'll see what they're able to do with it, though.
Yeah, Dr. Andypants going down, as you mentioned, but a huge shatter from yourself. Stuns 3, 2 kills already bound, make it a third. And just like that, any momentum they might have gained from taking down that Doomfist is gone.
The timing of the Earth Shatter was so good on the side of yourself. They have the field already out for a little bit of time. So once the Shatter actually came out, the field died within the next second. So they were able to just clean up the fight on the side of the Move. So very good job.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Wolverines coming in for yet another push. Mr. Gopher charging up a lot of energy, but not finding a lot of damage. He's still struggling to build up that grab. Dr. Andypants, though, in the backline, finds both DPS. His main tank getting taken down, but it might not even matter here.
They are able to actually touch the point at this exact time. However, it is Winston against the world. Wasting is doing what he can. However, he is in the trap, and the Matrix is out on the field. And he is going to fall as we come up on 145 left. We'll see what they're able to do. They do have a few ultimates in their favor, though, so maybe this is the Wolverines.
Yeah, we see the Wolverines taking so much damage. Starflight actually going to get taken down there by Night Knight on the Batiste. He is a bloodthirsty support if there ever was one. Less than 90 seconds left now, and the Moose are looking as dominant as ever. They're looking to close out a quick 3-0 and punch their ticket to the next stage.
Dr. Antipants punching from the back as they ended up throwing out the grab and cleaning up. Looks like the Riptire, actually gets denied at the very, very end. I was worried that they were going to end up finishing off the rest of the Wolverines, but it looks like that they will have a few escape. So this is more their chance than before on the prior push for the Wolverines to really go. They have the rally, they have the Junkrat tire that they can lead off with. Of course, the Immortality Field you have to be wary of, but so many things are in their favor. They just have to execute this plan correctly.
I really just think that the Wolverine are losing this poke battle here. They're trying to take this poke battle so much. They're trying to get the damage, they're trying to find the kills, and they're just losing it, honestly.
And we do have the ultimate from Meteor Strike. Did not find anyone in the back. However, seems that they are just in a huge scramble non-stop on the side of the Wolverines, as there is so much chaos everywhere. Zomboid getting engaged on at the very top, though, trying to find something with the Genji. However, they will cause people to retreat into the back as the grab comes out. Let's see what they're able to do. And they do pick up a few kills onto the point right now. Let's see if they can make it happen in overtime. This is what they've been saving their ults for. Can they actually close it out, though?
Yeah, actually, another thing that's very important here, Dr. Andyfans, even though he did find the kill onto Soul Noctis on the Brig, he wasn't able to find anything else when he was in the back there. He was really just, he's going to try and go for it, but oh, he clips into the wall. That's so unfortunate. He is going to contest for a while here as they struggle to finish him off, but nothing doing, really just feeding all charge at that point. And we do see a very late cap coming in from the from the Wolverines, sorry.
Hello there.
So it's funny because you would think, well, everything was going so bad to start off for the Wolverines, but when it matters, they ended up making the capture happen. Of course, you can't say that they're going to be able to always get away with that, but at least being able to extend their time going into this point B, it's really, really good for them. So maybe they can execute the same plan, as unfortunately a couple of their teammates already fall early on.
Well, I think really it's just that they finally took the fight that they should have been taking. They finally took the fight to the point. They were the aggressors. They pushed onto the boost, and they were rewarded for it. I think, you know, we're seeing them struggle because they're not knowing when to make that aggression here. That's definitely something they'll want to work on in practice after this match, and hopefully maybe an adjustment mid-match here.
Yeah, we'll see what they end up going with as far as for burning any ultimates. A dry push, they have more than enough time to execute that. We'll see if they end up deciding to go that route. However, you have to consider as well if the Wolverines will anticipate, or rather if the Moose will anticipate that and only burn maybe one ultimate tops to end up reserving a lot of their abilities for the bigger fight, which is to come.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing them trying to push in here. It looks like they're going for a pincer maneuver, getting this crossfire on the point. We're going to see Soul Noctis actually getting stunned on the point. Here comes the tire. The Meteor Strike is down from the Doofus. The first kill is in favor of the Wolverines, but so many ultimates coming out now. The offense features the fire, the Graviton. Kills are starting to flow back for the Moose. That could be huge as the defenders have a tremendous advantage in spawns here. They still don't have a tick. The kills are starting to fill up for them. Kills are coming back, but it's not going to be enough. Partic all by himself on this Hanzo. He's just going to have to back away.
Yeah, that was a full commitment from the side of the Wolverines. You saw Soul leading off with the rally, and of course we do have Crip with the Dragons now. However, there's not anything to combo with that. We have Zarya coming up fairly soon on the grab. Oh, and actually a pick on the side there.
Yeah, Partic was in there and he just never left. The thing about playing against a Doomfist is that he will punish you if you're out of position. And Partic learned the hard way right there. We'll see if he can adjust his playstyle a little bit. Dr. Anypants, now, indeed, he might be the one getting punished. He's going to get stunned up and he's going to go down. That could be big, but the Wolverines need to take advantage of this pick that they...
Yeah, every second that they wait is going to be not in their favor, as they're leading off with the Dragon Strike that is going to filter them off to one side. However, we will see that he will fall on the side. Oh, looks like that the kill feed though is going their way. Can they finish it? Got their anti-pants in the back, kicking off people. However, we do have the Moira ultimate. However, it was very late in the fight. Not sure what else that they can actually make happen. Grab is going to be burnt. Only finds Dr. Bright though, as the Riptire comes out and will only kill the immortality field, though, as we see yourself charging from spawn, and looks like that the Moira of all people is actually carrying this fight.
Yeah, but then she gets taken down, gets hit by the Reaper and the Meteor Strike in one frame right there. 30 seconds left. They haven't even gotten a tick. And Partic, once again, is in too deep. He's going to go down very late. It's a long walk from spawn on this map. He might not be back in time for this.
So actually going up high, we do see Mr. Gopher, rather, trying to see what he can find up there. Who is going to be able to make the touch? Looks like Winston is trying to get on the point right here. Actually touches it, so we will get into overtime right now. Of course, Transcendence being burned on the point. This will be doing very well, and the Matrix out to amplify all of that damage and healing. Looks like the Dr. Anti-Pants will lead the charge with the first kill, as Mr. Gopher is going to finish it off. And of course, the Death Blossom to send everybody to their graves, and that will be it for point B.
Yeah, we do see, though, a first point capture, which means not only do the Moose have to cap point 1, they have to cap at least 33% of point 2 in order to get a victory on this map and in this match.
Yeah, the series will be over here. Since this is a best of 5, this would be the 3rd game. If the Moose are able to actually claim their victory here, we'll see if there's going to be any sort of cheeky strategies. We've seen some Bastion comps kind of come out with the Baptiste. If you can set them up in a very specific position, it can be a little bit risky for these positions, considering that you are able to get to the point because it is a bit closed off in comparison to the high ground. But I'm curious as to see what the Wolverines end up coming up with.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. I'm expecting to see a Junkrat again because it seems like it's
Who
really
would have guessed?
Zomboy's favorite hero. Oh, but actually he's going to be locking in the Genji. He is on the attack, so he does have plenty of time to save it. But what's really catching my attention now is the outside of this map. I really like just the idea of a place like this very traditional temple in the center of Metropolis. If you look around the outside of the map,
I don't think
skyscrapers.
I don't think you'll have just like a random huge bell in a building that's completely open, but I mean, I don't know for sure. What do I kind of know?
I feel like it's somewhat realistic. I feel like I've seen something like this before.
I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't have such high cliffs that lead off to your doom, though, at least for a visitor spot.
Is a little bit, especially since the fences are so easy to break. I mean, you just punch them and fall right over.
True. And we are getting into the engagement. Oh my god, leading off with the charge right now yourself as they're firing back right now. However, Trip is going to find himself by killing off yourself as Zomboy is in the back line. Nobody was able to take him out, and you're seeing the power of double shield in combination with the Baptiste. This is so good for enabling the Bastion. This is exactly what I was hoping to see.
Yeah, this bunker combination is so strong, and honestly, I think the Moose were expecting it. I think that's why Zomboy came out on the Genji. We're seeing Andy Pants swap over to the Sombra because really they've decided that's the only thing that's going to be able to win them this point. Searchlight knows Genji's in the backline. He's searching around. He is the Searchlight, trying to illuminate these enemy flankers. Ooh. Andy Pants is able to get the hack off onto the Bastion, and that's going to be it. The engagement coming in, but look at that! Night Knight and Dr. Andy Pants going down in quick succession there, thanks to Wasting and Starflight. Partic, the hack has worn off. He is now in tank mode, and that's a 3K. And this defense is going to be one tough nut to crack for the Moose.
Moose.
I almost said Moose.
Goose. But yeah, it's definitely looking very, very strong from the side of the Wolverines. I'm very, very excited to see how they're going to play out the rest of this. Dr. Anti-Pants getting the hack off on the health patch, so he will be able to return to that. However, Starflight seemed to maybe be onto it. Doesn't seem like he actually was, though. And the barrier is already broken. However, not even able to reach him on the Bastion. Look at that.
Yeah, it's so much damage. You have the Orisa and the Bastion both barreling down at you with all of their damage, but look at this. Zomboy takes out Searchlight, and here comes the blade. He finds Partic. He's gonna get taken out by Wasting, but the damage has been done. The Batiste is down, the Bastion is down, there's no immortality field, and now the Moose are pouring onto this point. Dr. Andy-Pants finding so many kills on his Sombra and building up towards that EMP.
That was so good for them to be able to get kills in the back line. The Baptiste actually fell for the side of the Wolverines first, so Searchlight was not a factor to be able to provide that extra healing. And then, of course, we did see the Genji being able to get in there and clean up the rest of the fight. But we do have a switch, actually, from...
We're going to see a Symmetra coming out. It's going to... Looks like they were trying to put people up on the high ground, but Dr. Andy-Pants in the back line takes down Searchlight. It looked like he was trying to swap off of the Sombra, off the Symmetra, sorry. and Dr. Anypants now has this EMP. They know he's there, and there's not really much they can do about it. He's going to get pulled onto the point, but he's just going to translocate out. Starflight, once again, no longer taking flight as Gopher has cracked him open like an acorn. Did Gophers eat acorns?
I don't know. We can find that out in just a little bit. But they, at this point, considering that this would be a tie for the point, I'm pretty sure that would it actually be a win on the side of the Moose already for the.
Yeah, and the tank ult's coming out from the Moose. So many people cold and stunned, and that should be it. They just need to clean up a few more kills. The offense matrix comes out. It's just a Moth and a Junkrat on the point here. The Moth is down, the Junkrat is gone, and there we go. The Moose with a 3-0 victory. They are going to be moving on.
Very decisive, looking extremely strong. Can't wait to see them in the semifinals moving forward. So very, very solid job from them. Very decisive on everything.
Yeah, and here we go. The play of the game from Mr. Gopher is actually going to be this final play. You see the grab. 3 people caught by the shatter out of yourself. And just so much damage here on this Zarya, finishing off so many targets. Look at that, 26 high energy kills.
Yeah, very solid for the participation, as well as even from Night there, being able to just contribute so well to all of his team, consistently pumping out that damage and whatnot. If you can just enable your carries, if you have good carries, of course, then you can just see them excel so well, and that's exactly what Night has been doing all.
Yeah, so I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to the playoffs for EGFH Alaska Season 3. And of course, we saw the Palmer High Moose winning and making it to next week's finals. But we've got more games later on, so don't go anywhere.
And so we will be back in just a second. We're going to take a quick break right here. And of course, just one more time, shout out to our sponsors, Mob Crush and Playmakers Wanted, for helping make this season possible. Stick around and we'll be right back with some more Overwatch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to EGFH's Season 3 Alaska Regional Playoffs for Overwatch. We are back, as I mentioned, with Game 2. Palmer, since they moved on, will be facing off against the Matsu Central High Ravens. I am still Cool J, and for this series, I've been joined by the wonderful Straight.
That's me. We are back once more. Semifinals match coming straight at you. The teams, of course, have gone through their pick and bans for their maps. So to lead it off, we'll be taking a visit over to Winston's lab with Watchpoint Gibraltar, followed up by taking a trip over to China at Lijian Tower. And we'll fly on over to the village of Hanamura. And then following that, considering that we can get in some more quality Overwatch games, we'll be taking it to the German castle of Eichenwald. And then, if necessary, of course, tie breaking it on Horizon Lunar Colony.
Yeah, so a very similar map pool this time around. As you may have noticed if you joined us for the first match, the only difference this time will be Lijiang Tower. I would say it seems like the Moose just really like playing on these maps.
Yeah, no, definitely they know what they like. I mean, they've already ran through a few of these maps already, but we will see how the new challenger is going to come at them, the Ravens. Have you ever seen a Raven versus?
I feel like a Moose would definitely win, but no, I have not seen a Raven face off against a Moose. Maybe that's what I've been missing in my life.
Feels like that this wouldn't be a very common interaction. I mean, because one would be what is it more of a scavenger versus just a plant eater just
I
out
would
there, you know?
say no, Moose are like ferocious, dude. Like you do not want to mess with those guys. Like
They're slowly.
everybody thinks like Alaska is scary because of like the cold and the bears.
It's the
Nah,
moose,
the moose. They'll mess you up.
or as we've agreed to call them for this cast, the
The
meese.
meese. Yeah, the
Yes,
meese.
the ferocious Meese. We will see how they're going to be doing leading off. As we take a look at the team comps, actually going to be running a Sombra. We'll see what they're going to be able to do for this on the side of the Ravens. So we will lead off, and looks like they're just kind of stouting out, biding their time, just trying to get in a good position.
Yeah, we're gonna see Sombra on the Sombra here. Big surprise there. Jake going to be playing the Winston. So this classic dive combination here for the Ravens. We'll see how it works out for them. Jake's going down so low. He gets taken down very quickly there. Azimi gonna get popped out of the mecha as well and taken down. Six shooter goes down. This bunker from the Moose is so strong. They've got that immortality field and so much burst damage. It's gonna be hard to dive onto this one.
Looked like that Torbjorn was out there melting people with his molten core. However, that was just the power of this bunker, as you had mentioned, from the side of the Moose.
Yeah, the Moose continuing their dominant play. They've had the advantage of getting a chance to warm up here.
Ooh.
And look at that six shooter going down early. The Moose finding an early advantage yet again. There goes K Moneyboy. And it has just been all Moose right now. They are showing their ferocity. The Ravens are just reeling.
Night Night is putting people to bed indeed, going off on the Baptiste there, picking up two, and of course, keeping his team looking nice and pretty on the point. This payload has not moved whatsoever. It looks like that they, considering that they can keep this up, they might not even be able to get it down onto the little.
Yeah, down into the car wash, as it were, a
But there's
commonplace.
you can't wash anything down there.
Teams can get it. It's called the car wash because you go right down through, you get peppered with damage on one side, peppered with damage on the other. But we're going to be seeing Dr. Bright coming through the Coalescence, the Wolves coming out from Dr. Andypants in a flank position, but the kills coming through for this dive defense this time around. They got exactly the engage they wanted in six shooter, going nuts with the Death Blossom. He told them to die, and I guess they just had to listen to him.
Yeah, so very solid job. That was extremely decisive. This is what we were kind of mentioning from the last game that we were watching for being able to be decisive and make plays happen when you need them. Now, the unfortunate part here coming up is that Azimi is not going to be in his mech. Oh, actually gets it back right now, but they lead off with the Earth Shatter. Ooh, finds nothing though on the charge. However, they are coming in with the sound barrier, and they are just waiting around for the Riptire, seeing what they can pick up. Doesn't look like that it's going to find anybody. Oh, actually finds two in the back.
Yeah, that was a really smart, patient play from Zomboy there, waiting for the sound barrier to wear off, waiting for his moment, able to find both supports in the back. Sombra gets taken out late. However, since they died so quickly there, Sombra still has EMP, Azimi has a Diva Bomb. That could be a very potent combo, especially against a Reinhardt composition like this.
Now, of course, the Baptiste is so strong versus insta pop damage, so something like the Diva ult, of course, that will be able to keep you alive through things like that, unless, of course, you're able to actually wait it out or just bide your time and maybe have somebody in there to destroy it. But setting up on the high ground right now, let's see what the Moose are able to come up with. Ooh, except Jake is popping in right now.
Yeah, this is just impressive. They needed to force them off of that high ground, and they were able to. Now they'll be able to engage the way they want. Zomboy goes taken down. K-Money Boy dies to the death nades, but it's not going to matter. The EMP catches 4 people. Dr. Anyfan's fighting back, but it's not even going to matter. Zini has already found 2. I think that should be it. Dr. Anyfans, though, not if he has something to say about it. He's still in this fight. He's still finding kills.
And no, it is Azimi on the point right here. Did they go for the stagger? Looks like that they didn't decide to do so with 10 seconds left. Seems that they just want to get people off the point. Is anybody going to even be able to touch it? Sombra is able to touch it for the translocator. However, it's just Sombra on the point. They are filtering in right now. We did have the grab
from Dr. Anypants, and I don't know. I think this one might just be about over. Zomboy with the tire, a nice nice exclamation point on the defense from the Nice.
Yeah, looking very solid. Every time they are able to recover so well, we see them lose fights and then come back at the last second, which is exactly what you want to see. If you're able to just be patient, let them get as much distance without actually completing the point, then it is a lot better for your spawn in comparison to theirs. That if you get into longer drawn out fights, you will be able to recover and stabilize in comparison. So solid job from the Moose again. Looks like the Ravens did fortunately not complete point A, but they still have a good chance.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing, you know, they don't really have a long way to go. That golden rectangle of victory is going to be just ahead of this first point. So it's a tall task is what I'm saying. The Wolverines, sorry, not the Wolverines.
Ready for battle.
The Ravens have their work cut out for them. It looked like the Wolverines, though. With the way the Meese are playing, they're looking like they're in top shape right now. But the Ravens have their work cut out for them, but it's not an impossible task.
Yeah, indeed. And looks like that we are going to be seeing a combination for the Bastion and the Baptiste. Of course, a favorite of mine personally, being able to get that combo in there. Looks like we are running only 1 shield tank in the Reinhardt, though, so normally you see something like that with the Orisa. However, I can actually appreciate Sit Shooter being on that Reaper, so that anybody that's going to be jumping onto the point is going to be in for a bad time. However, the team comp from the Moose doesn't seem like they're wanting to really engage. Looks like they're wanting to kind of stick back and just bunker down on the point, or rather payload.
I think there's a really interesting composition here from the Ravens. They have 6 Shooter and Sombra here to contest the point, but what? What happened? Blink goes down to Dr. Anypants. Wasn't he behind a shield? Isn't there an immortality field? He's going to go down, and that is huge. The Moose are going to have so much momentum pushing here. Yourself going to get charged down, but he's going to charge back. Azini gets taken down. Sombra finds Dr. Bright with the ground and pound. But I'm not sure they're going to find anything else from this defense.
Yeah, the immortality field, both of them up. Actually, this is going to just be a swing fest, as you see yourself, just swinging around, not finding anything. Finally gets actually the pin onto Sit Shooter as those fields do go down. And now it is just a matter of time to see who will come out of this. Oh, actually, Baptiste versus Baptiste going to be taken out right there. It looks like with the kill feed turning blue, that once more, we will have the Moose pushing forward.
Yeah, but Blink was able to get back to the fight. Is he going to be able to stay alive and put out the damage this time around? Azimi going down solo. The offense matrix comes out, but it's in a terrible position. That's an unfortunate misplay, but it doesn't even matter. Dr. Anypants has already found 2 kills. Here comes his dragons. He's looking for more. There goes K-Money-Boy, and it has been all Anypants on this Hanzo for the Moose so far today.
And Zomboy up on the high ground too. Nobody is going to be able to contest him where he's at this moment. So Sit Shooter, even though he does pick up Dr. Anti-Pants, what can they have happen? There's so much damage raining down from the high ground from the Junkrat. Is anybody going to be able to contest him? As the Riptire comes out, what can he make happen?
Yeah, they're just trying to stay on the point here. K-Money Boy with a sound barrier. That could be huge as Blink pulls out the tank mode, but he needs to find the kills. So far, he's struggling. He can't find anything, even though there's squishies on the point. He doesn't get any kills with his tank mode ultimate. He's going to get taken down as well, but he was able to stall along with K-Money Boy. It's not going to be enough, though, as Zomboy finds 3 on this Junkrat, and now it's going to be Sombra just swinging away on this hamster ball, trying to stay alive and keep this point contested.
He stalled for so long. Yeah, the Reinhardt actually flew right past them. So unfortunately, with Sombra on the Hammond, not able to make anything happen. Unfortunately, the spawn timers and everything, once you're in that overtime, of course, taking longer and longer to come up. So game 1 going on the side to the... And
that's what I'm talking about right there. Blink had multiple squishy targets on the point. He could have gone for the Brig, he could have gone for the Junkrat. He focused so hard on trying to take down Mr. Gopher Zarya, and Mr. Gopher was just able to stay alive, and Blink ended up wasting his entire ultimate there.
All right, and we will be getting ready to take this game 2 over to China. We will be hopping into Lijiang Tower in just a moment. Now, what do you think we will see from the side of the Ravens? What do you think they can make for adjustments? It seems that they have a Hammond, which of course causes a bit of disruption and whatnot, which sometimes you can make that work, especially on Lijiang Tower with the way that the points are set up and whatnot. You have those central locations to kind of tether onto and just cause a lot of disruption. Do you think we'll see any more Hammond?
I think they will try and run more of the Sombra picks. But I'm really not sure. It seemed like they were really they didn't really have an answer for the Moose there. Even when they got some momentum, they couldn't quite get the coordination that they needed to take advantage of it. Lijiang Tower, as I mentioned before, King of the Hill, tends to be very brawly, so they could see a turnaround on this map. And I think Sombra could be the answer for them. A lot of the compositions that the Moose run feature a Baptiste who is basically fully disabled by a Sombra, so it could be very strong against this composition.
Sombra on Sombra, who would have guessed? But we will see what comp they end up deciding to go on to. I think the bigger thing is going to be the target selection for Sombra, considering that we do see one, to be able to get down one of the main taints, more notably, of course, the Reinhardt has always been the main target, but even somebody like a Zarya not being able to provide that clutch shield, the bubbles more specifically, whenever that a pin comes out, whenever that there's some sort of really fast explosive damage, it can be a big lifesaver, and also just building up charge to put out more damage in general.
Yeah, and we are seeing both teams ready to go as we head into Lijiang Tower. This is the second map of our best of 5 matchup here. If the Moose are able to win this one, they'll be one map away from heading into next week's finals, which of course means that the Ravens are going to be fighting for their tournament lives. They've got a lot on the line going in here. We're going to be starting off on Garden. And I'm going to make a bold prediction and a not so bold prediction. I'm expecting Dr. Andypants to be on Afara here. I'm expecting Zomboy to be on the Junkrat.
You know, if you were a betting man, which it seems that you are, I think you might hit the jackpot, probably, based off of the history that we've seen, especially since we just saw this team play it out. But we'll see what they decide to roll out with, as we see maybe Mr. Gopher on a Hammond. Isn't Hammond a Hammond? I mean, he's Hammond, right?
Hammond is a hamster. You can't be Mr. Gopher and play Hammond. That's unacceptable. Honestly, I think that should be against the rules of the league. So I'll have a chat with him after the game. But more importantly, we're seeing some goats coming out from the Ravens. This could be very interesting here. It depends on how good their coordination is, but this could actually be exactly the turnaround that they've needed if they're able to make this work.
I like it as we see Mr. Gopher. Oh my god, Zomboy to lead off, getting 2 taken off the map immediately. You gotta watch out for these skyscrapers that you're playing on top of. Even take, oh my goodness, Mr. Gopher, he's trying to take a trip in the.
Yeah, he was trying to boot some people off, but he's going to end up falling off the map there. And I guess that's what happens when you are not a hamster. So Zomboy, though, going hard on this Pharah in that first fight. We'll see if this ghost composition is able to work out. The boot comes in, and look at that! It catches 2 again. I don't really like that it says that Orion killed himself, because really he did get booped off. We all saw it happen.
Did. Where's the kill credit when it's needed? But going around the backside, however, the Ravens do not have a main tank to provide them any sort of protection, and they're pushing in right now in the white room. However, the white dragons fly through. They're picking up 3 kills on the side.
Yeah, and there's those wolves that I forgot were in the game, finding 3 kills. Dr. Andypants, that was a nice reminder there. Gonna finish off a quick punch onto the Russian wrestler, but T-Dog not gonna survive very long. Dr. Andypants is all over the place on this Hanzo today. Oh my goodness! Stop! They have families, dude.
Apparently not for very long with the way that Dr. Andypants is just taking out everybody right now. And K-Money out on his own, trying to see what he can make happen, maybe just get a little bit more damage off, but already throwing out more wolves, gonna just split up the team. Let's see if they're able to engage properly right now. Zomboy, there's just no answer for him on the side of the Ravens. What can...
Yeah, I mean, they're really just trying to do whatever they can, but Dr. Andypants is just doing so much more. It's insane watching his play today. It's been really impressive. Really just putting the team on his back in this performance.
Yeah, carries are where they need to be for sure for this team. They're going to be looking so strong as the percentage is ticking up, and at this point you're wondering, do you actually spend the ultimates? It looks like that they do. The Earthshatter is going to come out, misses the pin though. It's a little bit displaced. However, Dr. Andypants is going to be coming up on his ultimate right now. Let's see if he lets it rip right now. Gonna shoot the wolves rather, and Zomboy though is going to be the MVP. However, Dr. Andypants getting a headshot right there, looking pretty good, and it's just a matter of time now. Unfortunately, Sombra on the Hammond is going to fall. People need to just stick to the characters they are named after, man. Who does Dr. Gopher play, or Mr. Gopher play rather than?
You know, that's a good question, but I think the answer is the way Dr. Andypants is playing. It doesn't even matter what he. This guy is just hitting shots all over the place. I mean, how do you answer it? You try to dive him, and you're less than half health before you even land. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe taking it all the way back, just going for a very standard comp, sticking with something extremely simple, an oldie but a goodie, so to say, going with double hit stand possibly, being able to pick off people from far range while also providing enough damage onto shields. But we'll see what adjustments are made. Of course, we are going to get into this next point right here, and we actually are seeing a Bastion come out from Blink.
Yeah, this is incredibly interesting right here because, as you mentioned, we're using that Bastion. And actually, it's running into a dive comp. Well, a Winston Ryan composition from the side of the Moose, and it is working out in their favor. Blink goes down on this Bastion. All of the kills are in favor of the Moose. Absolutely no momentum found for the side of the Ravens. Look at the ults. 75% already for the offensive matrix for the Moose, but they're not. Their whole team isn't pushing up here. It's just Hanzo and the Winston. They could be able to hold this choke much more strongly, but Mr. Gopher goes down. The halt right in front of the Bastion. That's not something you want to get pulled into. But Azimi is going to overextend and get taken down.
Solid job from them. I was a little bit worried about them sticking on the Bastion. However, they are making it work right now, being able to set up, and Zomboy gonna be up front right now. You gotta watch yourself as the shield gets broken right now. However, the wolves come on through. Oh no, they're standing right in the middle, just get destroyed.
Yeah, and that's why you commonly see this Bastion played with a Matisse. He doesn't even need to move out of the dragons. He can just stay there and live thanks to the immortality field. And Night Knight is really putting on a show with the Matisse today. He's been all over the place. This composition that they're playing with the Brig, Night Knight has to do all of the healing. You'll see players go down occasionally, but he's really done a great job.
Ultimates are much in the favor of the Ravens right now as we lead off with the Wolves going to split up the team. However, there is nothing being made right now. Blink is just looking for a little bit of opportunity. However, the ult comes out. We saw an Earth Shatter, doesn't find anything. However, oh my goodness, Ryan is just charging through. Gets taken out by Blink though. Let's see what else he's able to have happen. We saw Mr. Gopher fall a bit earlier and he is going to fall once more. This is their time to take it right now. Coming up on 80%. They are in a dire situation right now if they are able to get into overtime though. However, Zomboy going to pull out the blade, picks up 2.
Make it 3, make it 4. Zomboy at the last hour, he says, you know what? Dr. Andy Pants is getting all the glory. It's my turn to make a big play. And he's going to really save them the round there, as it looked like the Ravens were finally going to capture the point. And there we go, 2-0 lead now for the Moose as they head in. Our next map is going to be Hanamura once again. We could see the Moose finishing off a nice sweep here today, heading into the finals next week.
Indeed, and this position is just so good, being able to pick off in the back right there. Of course, not getting the exact finishing blow for the Orisa, but being able to pick up everybody else. It looked like that the fight might have not gone their way, but just showing up big exactly where he needs to. This team is looking so strong moving.
Yeah, I mean, you said it best. This team is looking really strong. And I'm not even sure what to expect now on Hanamura. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of the same.
Yeah, likely as far as for team comps and whatnot, seems that actually we saw the Doomfist come out, which was a little bit of a surprise, at least for specific map pips and whatnot, but it seemed to work out pretty well for the Moose who, that if I can remember correctly, actually ran it. So maybe we'll see some of the Doomfists come back and be able to get some Falcon punches off.
Yeah, I think another possibility here for the Ravens, if they can get a really strong defense, I think they're going to try and run that bunker again. It seems they are very comfortable running the bunker. And if they try and run goats on the attack, they may be able to get a first point cap, maybe even some percentage onto the second point. But it all remains to be seen, and lucky for you, you don't have to wait that long, because we are going in, the cherry blossoms are here, and we are on Hanamura.
We're back into it already. You know, Hanamura. Let's see if the Moose, or Meese rather, can make it thrice, 3 in a row, be able to close it out here, or if the Ravens will claw their way back into.
Nice. So, what sound does a moose make?
I definitely wouldn't know that one. I think it's more like a bellow. I think it's more like a bellow type thing. I really don't know.
Ready for battle.
I feel like this is just a really important question in general. Like, maybe this is something we should be studying.
I mean, for schools and whatnot, doesn't everybody have like their war cry or like their own trademark slogan or something like that? I guess you would make your animal noise. Is that what teams would do necessarily?
You know, that's a really great question, but I'm going to counter it by completely ignoring it, because look at what the Moose are doing on this defense. They have Hanzo, Junkrat, Reaper. They're playing a triple DPS look with Batiste, Zen, and Reinhardt. There's so much damage for this defense. I think this is them saying, we deserve to be in the finals, and we can do it no matter what we're playing.
Trying to make a statement indeed. Looks like Zomboy is being a little bit more reserved for his start here, as he actually has the trap set up on the high ground, so anybody that's going to be trying to get up there is not going to be in for a good time. So as they're setting up right here, oh, Dr. Anti-Pants starting it off.
Yeah, T-Dog gonna get taken down. Dr. Andypants again. I mean, I've been saying his name so much for a reason. He finds yet another one. It's just so difficult for them when Dr. Andypants and Mr. Gopher in their backline on this 3 for Hanzo. There's too much damage, too many directions. How can they possibly focus one?
Yeah, the damage output is just insane. Dr. Antipants, who knows how he even built ult that fast? This man is on fire right now. I don't see it just yet. However, leading off with the ultimate, what's he able to pick up with that? They are already in the backline on the side of the Ravens. Gonna pick up 2. This is exactly how you need to play into the team, into the hold right here, as they are not able to make anything happen. If you're able to just get in there and cause so much disruption, this is exactly the decisive
I think you said it
thing.
perfectly. This is exactly how they wanted to play it. Since the DPS are so aggressive, and since they don't have an off tank, that means that the support for the main tank and for the supports, the peel is not there. If they can just rush past them right on the point, which is what they did, they'll be able to get a quick time. And they're really almost playing sort of a quasi goats here. They've got Hammond instead of the Zarya, and Junkrat instead of the Brig, and it worked out for them on first point.
All right, let's see what they can make happen. They do have the Lucio ultimate. K-Money, let's see if he can put big money on this ultimate to be able to sustain for his team to take the next point. However, oh my goodness, Dr. Antipants falls. Let's see what they can make happen. Tire comes out in the back. However, we do see the sound barrier come out as well. Looks like things are ticking up on the point. However, not even able to get up to any percentage just yet. Of course, you need 33% to be able to have that stick. And it looks like that the Moose will finally level out. However, they did still manage to save some ultimates. So Sombra will be coming up with the ultimate on the Hammonds.
Yeah, honestly, the tough thing there is, like, they just couldn't deal with the Riptire. Zomboy actually swapping off onto the McCree. They're still doing this triple DPS look, but the DPS seem to be playing much more reserved this time around. They might have learned from their mistakes that lost them the first point. However, look at this team. They're pushing right onto the point. The Ravens taking the fight to these tanks. They know where their advantage lies. They found Night Knight. The Shatter comes down, but it does absolutely nothing. The damage was not there to follow up. Mr. Gopher goes down, and look at this. This could be a second point cap.
Very well could be. They gotta watch out for the ultimate, of course. The time, or rather, the point is ticking up. However, they didn't actually. 99.5.
Oh my goodness! Absolutely perfect timing from this defense to come back in. They have the offense matrix. They have that death blossom. Mr. Gopher tells them to die, and they do. 3 going down, and as you mentioned, 99.5. That is gotta be frustrating.
Sombra's got to get out of there so he doesn't stagger anymore. T-Dog, unfortunately, will fall right here. We'll see if Dr. Antipants is going to be able to get off any more damage in the back line. But good job for them being able to retreat. That was so clutch of the remaining members of the Moose to be able to get on there. It doesn't matter if they don't finish the...
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing them come back in. They do have the sound barrier from K Moneyboy, and more importantly, there are no ultimates on the side of the Moose, although Dr. Andypants is challenging himself to prove that statement wrong very soon here. Here we go. The fight is going down on the point. The sound barrier from K Moneyboy, the big jump from the high ground to the low ground. As he gets frozen, the Shatter comes down. Here comes the Dragon Strike. So much damage, 2 kills and a DMAC. Zomboy with this May pick is exactly what they needed. They're able to split up these highly mobile tanks and just find so much damage. Sombra putting down the minefield. I'm not sure that was the best decision here, as he's going to go down and the mines are just going to go to waste.
I would suspect we will see a swap, considering that was a decision. However, if not, then definitely going to agree with you there. And yep, there it is. Switch on to the Zarya for Sombra. So we'll see what he's going to be able to make happen there. And still a reasonable amount of time, considering that they only need the remaining third of the point to be able to capture it. So the May, though, is going to be a bit problematic. Oh, they're leading it off already.
I find it interesting, really, that they're playing every part of Goats except for the Brig. When Brig is really the most important part. Oh my goodness, that Blizzard is so huge. 3 members of the enemy team caught, frozen, gonna get K Moneyboy actually manages to survive despite being frozen during that, but all it is going to prolong his suffering as he eventually falls. Dr. Bright with a late rally in that fight. Not sure that was absolutely necessary, but it is going to let them clean up this fight.
We have to give it up, and we keep praising the Moose for this mental toughness after you give up so much percentage on a point, even after giving up point A, and you're able to just stick in there, say, we got this, we can still rally together, we can make it to the point, we can pit targets correctly, we can just band together and make it happen. And that's exactly what they're doing here. 2 minutes left on the clock for April.
Yeah, as you mentioned, just over 2 minutes, but they only need one tick. They only really need one fight here. One fight to go their way. Dragon Strike coming through from Doctor. Oh my goodness. All by himself. He finds a kill on the K Money Boy. The tire coming up from T-Dog is able to frag back, but since they lost him so early, not sure if they're going to do this. The kills are coming out though.
Joe's R&D coming out. The Diva self-destruct will pick up Mr. Gopher on the Zarya there. However, what are they able to do on the point? They consistently only need one person on the side of the Moose to be able to stall in time, and it looks like that's all that they needed to have happen. Baptiste back up, and they clean it.
And I'll say the thing here is, yes, they did lose K Money Boy early, but the reason they lost that fight is they let Zomboy live. On that May, he was by himself for so long, just freezing people, and they just kind of let him stay on the point. They didn't try to focus him down, and he was really able to stall it out and allow his team to get back. T-Dog, though, with some nice spam, able to take down Dr. Anypants. If they're able to get here quick enough, they could take a 6v5. However, even though it's a 6v5, there are 5 ultimates up for the Moose.
Yeah, Zomboy has done a crazy good job to be able to actually charge the May ult up again. Typically, it's one of the lower charging ultimates. However, that does not discourage the Ravens as they lead off with the Dragons once more, and freezes just across the board as we see Moira ult coming through. Matrix is out though. We'll see who will come out on top as freezes keep happening. May still holding on to the ultimate though.
Yeah, and we're still fighting in this point. There's so much sustain on both sides, but look at this. The Blizzard, the slow death, the Graviton coming out. I'm not even sure why they use that. Almost his entire team was dead. They're using ultimates here when they should be dying. They're not going to be able to win this fight, and they're going to get staggered late. Jake going down there. There goes Silver. There goes T-Dog. 10 seconds left. Not even. Nobody's going to make it back here. I think it's going to stay there.
Indeed it will. And just showing up when they need it most, of course, being able to bounce back 99.5%. You've got to be kicking yourself at the end of that, just thinking, wow, we could have actually finished that, but they were able to make it back just that little bit, just that tiny little bit. Target selection, maybe someone missing a single shot on somebody that could have made the little bit of difference to finish out the map.
Yeah, it's always those little things that end up coming back to haunt you. It's the little things that separate the good players from the great ones. And today we're really seeing the Moose do those little things right. That said, this is no guarantee for them. Pushing both points on Hanamura, as we've just seen, is no easy task. And they're going to have to cap this first point before they can even think about a victory.
Indeed. So the good part, regardless of the Ravens not being able to actually finish it, 99.5% is still respectable. Even though we've made it sound like it's a bad thing this whole time, it's still you completing mandatory basically the entire map. You got to get 99.6 on the board, meaning that you still have to have those ultimates play out correctly. You've got to worry about bunker comps as we've seen coming out and whatnot. So I think that if this is any time for the Ravens to really show what they got, this is going to be it.
And honestly, I think this is the perfect composition for them to start with. They have Sombra on the Sombra. They have a Mercy Batiste combo. There's so much synergy there. Namely, one of the most important things, the Immortality Field can enable the Mercy to get a free res. And also having that Bastion, so much damage. We've seen it already. This could be a deadly combination. Zomboy, though, they're expecting it again on the side of the Moose. They're coming out with this Genji already.
Now, I appreciate them going around the opposite side, just eating that Fire Strike Brawl right there. Going to be even up some ult charge. Oh my god, just going straight in there. Blink is already destroyed. Good night, friend, as they charge to the...
Yeah, and that's why you don't want to play in that position. They were so close to the choke that it's very easy for yourself to just charge right onto that Bastion. And look at this, they just flood over onto the enemy team and the kills fall.
And the terrible part for the side of the Ravens is that they are now dealing with Dragon, or rather Dr. Antipants, coming up on his ultimate, which now he actually received, throwing it out already to lead. He's up by himself. This is a one-man arc.
Yeah, really aggressive play there. Kind of questionable, but they do have the Dragon Blade to go with Mr. Gopher's grab. Also, Mr. Gopher building the grab very slowly. He's probably going to have another Dragon Strike in time, but you can't build a Dragon Strike if you're dead. Blink finding 2 kills on the Bastion, taking down Night Knight's Immortality Field. Zomboy in the back takes him down, but it's not going to mean anything. Really, the Moose are just going to disengage here.
All right, so you definitely got to be kicking yourself if you're Antipants, as far as for deciding to go off a little bit more aggressively, but go for picking up just a little bit there, getting very, very close to having that grab. So you've got to be worrying about the combo, the grab and Zomboy, especially with Blink being an immobile fortress that he is with the T-Dog on the Reinhardt and whatnot. Let's see what they're able to make happen, though.
Yeah, so they're pushing on to the point now, pushing slowly into this Bastion. There we go, T-Dog goes down. Here comes the Blade. Rez trying to come out, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. Blink was brought back up, but he's not going to survive very long. T-Dog goes down, and there we go. That could be it for the Moose.
Yeah, so decisive. They were able to get out there. Riptire comes out point blank, not going to find anything. However, this is exactly what we saw earlier with the spawns right there. If you're able to just sustain for a long enough time, after burning so many ultimates, investing so much, you are able to just come back and turn it around. Oh my god, Dr. Antipants, though, of course, showing up as he always...
Yeah, showing up as you mentioned, as he always does. K-Money Boy not able to get the res. Mr. Gopher right there. I don't think so. Wrestling the Swiss medic to the ground, and that should be it now. The point going to start ticking up once again. Are they going to be able to keep these stacks?
Looks like that they are, as we do have the D.Va, and well, K-Money is already going to be gone right here. It's just a matter of time. How long can they keep up this charade of filtering onto the point? We finally have 2 people. However, Junkrat's going to fall, and Jake will fall as well. Tridog, oh, T-Dog just goes right past it. You can't contest if you're off the point. However, it looks like he took a few with them.
Yeah, he was able to take Dr. Antipants with him. That's a huge damage source for the side of the Moose. But of course that means Zomboy, he can do damage too. He's looking for the kills on the Genji. He's finding them. And the Dragon's coming through from spawn. And that's going to be it. The Moose, in dominating fashion, don't lose a single map on their way through the playoffs. And we will see them next week in the finals.
Yeah, that was such a good job from them across the board. Actually going to have T-Dog here going to be getting the play of the game, but still, nonetheless, it's just so dominant from the side of the Moose. So you've got to give big props to them to be able to rally it together consistently, have consistent showing, which of course is most important for how you can feel confident going into the finals, taking it, moving forward, and try to pick apart, of course, small things that you let kind of falter, but just clean that up coming up into next week, and then hopefully have a strong showing in the finals.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate to go through a loss like this. I think both teams today did show some flashes. There's definitely some lessons they can take away, but I think they did play hard, definitely deserve a job. Well, I think they definitely had a job well done, even if they didn't get quite the result they were hoping for.
Indeed, but that is going to be it for us today. And make sure, of course, that you tune in next week. And thank you, of course, for tuning in to the playoffs today. Of course, the EGFH Alaska playoffs is what we're into right now. Hopefully you're enjoying yourselves. Season 3 with, as of course, the Moose, as we call them here, the Meese from Palmer, being able to punch their ticket. And make sure, of course, that you follow us at official EGF on Twitter and Twitch for more updates and announcements. We're always here bringing you action in multiple esports, as you know. And once more, just like to thank our sponsors, Mob Crush and Playmakers Wanted, for help with the season and making it possible. Of course, this is Straight Stripping, and you can find me at all sources, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, Straight Stripping, and of course, my boy Cool J.
Yeah, I've been Cool J. You can find me on Twitter at CoolJ_OW. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week for the